Hey guys, it's Kyle. Just want to let you know that I forgot to plug in my fucking microphone, and so this whole episode is recorded through Jake's mic. We fixed the audio as much as we could, but enjoy. Be back to normal next time.
The whiteboard's missing.
Mm-hmm. You forgot it in Vegas.
I had a whole fucking bag for the fucking whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's warm out, so it fell off the wall, and I forgot. So now it's over there. It's episode 20, in case y'all were just freaking out about the whiteboard. Anyway, hey guys, welcome back.
For those listening that don't watch the videos, there's a whiteboard behind us usually.
Oh yeah.
It fell. Yeah, podcasts are usually an audio.
Yeah. But for the rusty, yeah.
Yeah, so there's no whiteboard now.
No whiteboard.
We're gonna operate to the best of our ability, but we lost the whiteboard.
Try to carry on.
We're just not. We're figuring it out. Kyle wanted to talk about it. We've talked about it. Fuck.
We gotta keep going.
No, how was Vegas?
It was a lot of fun. I was able to see a lot. I went to Omega Mart, which is like that big, weird kind of acid trip grocery store installation that's been like all over the internet, like advertisements everywhere. It was really fun. It was really cool. Raquel got an air freshener called Verbal Agreement. It was great. And a hot sauce called the Chip Moisturizer. So it was a good time. That was fun. Ate a lot of good food. I took her to the Stratosphere, and I had the best lamb of my life. And our waiter dropped like 3 glasses, like throughout the entire meal.
You hate to see it.
They weren't my glasses, so I was like,
Yeah, but you still. Like, buddy, you gonna get written up soon.
It was rough. I was like, oh shit, is this thing moving too fast for you? Because it rotates at like 0.5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's one of those places you can like put a penny on the windowsill, and then within an hour,
You'll find the penny.
you'll come back to the penny if nobody's taking it.
But yeah, we went to the Stratosphere. We saw a bunch of casinos. I didn't gamble a ton. I lost a bunch of money and then got it back and went, I'm good.
That's it. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Once you lose the money, if you get it back, quit. It's over.
I'm done. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to get something to eat. Went to InNOut, which was a highlight.
I'm convinced that we only like InNOut because we don't have it.
I think so, maybe.
Because, like, I remember whenever I used to go out to the West Coast to visit family, I'd get InNOut and be like, oh my God, like, you got to get an animal style. Like, just be fat.
Yeah.
Eat it. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then the last time I was out there, I think I had it like once or twice. And I think like the last time I had it, I was like, yeah, this really ain't like the shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's all about just like your perspective of, if you have it like often,
Yeah.
it's not great. Like, I mean, there's McDonald's out here, and it's
How
fine.
dare you? Hold on.
Well,
Hold on.
There's a reason why I'm saying McDonald's.
How dare
We
you?
have McDonald's around here, and it's fine. It's all right. And then I went out there, and InNOut's fantastic, and I had a horrible McDonald's experience. Came back here and was like, you know what, McDonald's is pretty great out here.
I'm still mad that you're using McDonald's. Like, Five Guys, Shake Shack. You went,
Shake
nah.
Shack.
You went, nah, McDonald's.
The Shake Shack, the reason I say McDonald's is because I'd waited like 25 minutes for a chicken burger, which wasn't even like a full set chicken burger. And
Just say chicken patty, bro.
it wasn't.
It's just a chicken patty.
So there's like the patties, and then there's like the real like.
Yeah,
fried
like
chicken.
yeah.
Yeah, and I got that one, which is my favorite one, and they fucked up the sandwich after 25 minutes. I was like, I gotta get on my plane. I can't even complain about that.
Yeah, like you ain't got the time.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck, and I came back here and got a real chicken burger, and I was like, oh.
Have you ever seen, there's a comedian that talks about Starbucks?
No.
And he's like, so he thinks that fast food places don't realize, like, they don't understand how good they have it in terms of when they fuck up an order. Because he's like, I could come up to you, order a coffee.
Yeah.
I could pronounce it wrong, but you think you know what I want. So you go make me the cup of coffee. Turns out I ordered the wrong cup of coffee. And he goes, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to go outside, throw it away, and go to a different Starbucks and just try again.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that like airport fast food places don't recognize that that's sort of how it operates in an airport food court. They could fuck up my burger at Fuddruckers,
Oh, yeah.
which I've only ever seen in airports.
Fuddruckers.
They could fuck it up, and then I'll just throw it away and walk closer to my terminal. And if I see something, I'll be like, all right, fuck it.
I'm gonna go.
Let's see if they got it.
I got that meal and I turned around, I looked at the line, I'm like, don't go here, too long. And they all went to Chipotle and I was like, good choice.
Which I think is really funny because it's like, wow, McDonald's just got fucked, but they still own Chipotle. So like both those managers at the end of the day probably were just like, hey man,
nice job.
we figured it out. Like,
I felt bad for Chipotle though because McDonald's was just dropping the ball on service, and I looked over at Chipotle and they had run out of like everything.
yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, when do they close? And I looked and it's like 2 hours from then. I'm like, they're out of everything. They're fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, InNOut, pretty good if you don't eat it InNOut often.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I do think it's great. I just think it's, because like if you talk to people from the West Coast, they're like, oh my God, first thing you got to do when you get off that plane, go to an InNOut. Which I will say is historically the first thing I've done.
Yeah.
Is I'll get in the car and like when I used to go visit my grandfather, I'd be like, let's go. And we would go to InNOut. Or like if I went to California to visit family, we're going to InNOut first. Like it is that good, but I just like then you meet people that move here to the East Coast from the West Coast and they're like, yeah, you got some good burger spots, but you don't have InNOut. It's like, bitch, it's good.
Go Shake Shack.
It's not that good. Yeah, like it's that. It's like, because I'll admit when I go, I get InNOut.
Yeah.
But I'm not coming back east being like, man, we got all these burger places, but you know what I want? I just want an InNOut. Like, no.
Yeah, I'm not coming back craving it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna kill for it, which is why I hate the like fandom of InNOut because I'm like, it's good. It's not
it's
fucking.
Just that thing you get off the plane, you're like, fucking cool, InNOut.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'll have a burger. Like that was like the first thing we did. The first night meal we had, we went to fucking InNOut.
It's so good.
It's delicious. When I was a little buzz.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Good burger when you're drunk is the shit.
Oh, I want Five Guys. I haven't had Five Guys forever. Oh. Yeah.
Me neither, actually. Oh my God. I had a burger the other day at a bar because we went to a bar to get drinks with some friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been working all day. And then the day before I had worked, I think 16 hours. And the day before that I worked like 12 hours. And so I get to the bar, take a sip of beer, and my whole stomach turns upside down. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I feel sick? And then I did like the thinking thing. And I'm like thinking about it. And I realized that in 3 days, I think I had like a handful of blueberries. There was nothing in my system.
You accidentally went
period. No, like, no, not worse than that. Nothing. Like barely any nutrients. I'm drinking water at work. Took a sip of beer and my friends were just like, no, just eat the food and then drink the beer. And I'm like, no, I feel sick. Like, I don't want to eat the food right now. Like, my body isn't happy. And so I literally was like, that sucked.
So you just got a burger?
Yeah, but I ate half of it. Because I genuinely, like, I don't know how else to describe it other than just, I felt sick. Like I think my body was like, finally something, and it was like carbs and alcohol.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thank God.
And my stomach was,
and it's like, oh, God.
yeah, and my stomach was just like, first of all, why you do this? But it was something.
Man, we love burgers.
I do. A good burger, I will say, a good burger is like top 5 things, in my opinion, of food. Like when people are like, what's the best food out there? I think a good burger is legitimately one of the best things you can have. Like, I was once getting into a debate with my cousin because he was thinking fancy foods. He's like, oh, a steak. Oh, ribeye. Oh, lobster. Oh, this and that. And then I'm sitting at the table and I'm like, have you ever had like a really good burger? It's fucking amazing. Top 5. Top 5. Like,
burger, like I won't crave a steak. I won't crave like any other food, but after like a certain amount of weeks, I'll be like, I want a burger so bad.
oh yeah.
I'll be like, I need like a bacon cheeseburger.
Throw an egg on that bitch. Throw an egg on that bitch. It's over for me.
When I serve that shit at my restaurant, and I'm like,
oh yeah. The restaurant you work at, their burger's fucking fire.
Yeah. You were loving that flat iron last night too.
I liked it. They seasoned it a little too much.
A little too much?
Yeah, it's a little salty, but it was good. Like, I wasn't complaining because I'm like, nah, this is still really fucking good. But that's, it's one of those things, like, I don't get steak when I go out to eat most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I like to season it myself. Like, I like to cook my own steak because then I know how much I'm putting on. And I knew it would happen. I was like, oh, I should probably tell them, like,
less salt.
Yeah, like, lightly season the steak. And it came out, I took a bite, I'm like, wow, this is really good. And then I got to, like, the 3rd or 4th piece, and I was like, it's salty. But it was still delicious. Like,
yeah, it's really hard to like over season.
yeah, it wasn't even over seasoned. I just don't love salt.
Oh, that reminds me. When I was in Vegas, I had a $110 steak because I'm like,
Oh, well, did you go to Oh fuck, what's the name of it?
It's just called steak.
Oh no, then never mind.
Just steak, but drop all the vowels. STK.
That's so stupid.
It is. It is. I gave him so much shit about it. I kept asking my waiter about it. He was just like not happy about it.
That's
like,
so
I
stupid.
was like, you couldn't afford the vowels? And he was like, fucking, I guess not. And I'm like, haha. And so I ordered a $110 steak because I'm like, I'm not dropping.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I wasn't dropping a lot of money on gambling, or like, I wasn't dropping a lot of money in general.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drop a lot of money on food. So I got this $110 steak, and it was $110 because I think it's just because there's so much meat. But I took a bite, and I'm like, pretty mediocre. I was kind of bummed out. I was like,
Hate to see it.
I was so bummed. I was like, dude, just give me something. Give me a burger.
When I went to Vegas with my grandfather, we went to a place. It's in Vegas. I googled it because I want to get the name right, but it's called Smith and Walensky.
Oh.
It's a very good, like very famous steakhouse. And so I went with him, and he comes into the hotel, and because it's Vegas, like the restaurants there don't fucking close.
Yeah.
So he comes into the hotel room. It's like 11 at night. He goes, "I want a steak." I'm like, "Get room service." Like I'm 16 at the time. I'm like, "Cool." Yeah, like where are we gonna go to get a steak? He's like, "No, come on." I'm like, "It's 11 o'clock at night. Where are we going?" We walk into this nice restaurant. And he's like, "Now this place is really nice." I'm like, "All right." We sit down. I took one look at the menu. The cheapest cut of steak was still like $60. And I was like, what does it do? Cure cancer? Like, what the fuck is happening here? And he ordered like the most expensive one. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I did the same thing. I got like $110 piece of steak. And I was like, wow, this is really, really good. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what was on it. I know it had a dry rub of some kind. I remember it was a ribeye.
It's always the dry.
Literally, I was like, this is so good. And like my grandfather got a nice drink. I'm 16. I got like a root beer. I was like, wow, this is great. But
on the flip side of, because I said I had like the best lamb I ever ate at the Stratosphere.
yeah.
On the flip side, I had the worst burger I've ever had in my fucking life in Vegas.
Really?
It tasted like cat food. So outside of Omega Mart, which is in Area 15, which is like the whole thing of Area 15 is that it's all art installations. Even the restaurants are kind of art installations.
Yeah.
So they're very trendy. So I get this burger, and I had truffle aioli. It was like dry aged meat, and like a bunch of other shit in it. But I took a bite of this burger. One, not thick. It was a smash burger, and it was disgusting. It didn't taste anything like a burger. It tasted like cat food. It tastes like cat food smells. And I took 2 bites and put it down, and our waitress was so nice that I couldn't be like, this was fucking disgusting. So she came over, she's like, how was it? I'm like, I'm just a little full from the appetizer. I was like,
oh, you didn't have the heart to be like, yo, this shit sucks.
The most disgusting burger ever, because she was so nice to us.
So I downloaded the menu of the place I went to. The steak I got is a dry aged bone-in ribeye, which if you go to like a store, that's a pretty not expensive cut.
Yeah.
It's not the most expensive. It's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive. I got the 28 ounce, which was the lightest one they had. It's not their signature cut, nothing like that. It was $74.
Jesus Christ.
$74. My grandfather got the surf and turf.
Yeah.
$135. And like the sides and stuff are extra. So I think I got mine with like a sauce on it.
Yeah.
The cheapest sauce is still $8 extra. And if like you want like a side of like, you know, French fries, that's $10.
Jesus Christ.
And so we're out here eating large, so I'm sure he got like the cream spinach and the sauteed mushrooms. Together, both of those, I'm looking at the menu right now, $27 for 2 sides. So like if I'm remembering correctly, he got the surf and turf, $135. Then he got sauteed spinach, sauteed mushrooms. That's $27. 27. He spent
like $200.
$160 something on him. And then I'm getting stuff. He's covering the bill. I'm 16. I'm not.
It's like
If they handed me the check, I'm crying. Like, So yeah, and we get drinks. We probably got an appetizer. It's 11:30 at night. Like, we're out here.
Go ham.
Oh, it's great. Now I want to go back to Vegas. Now I want to walk in and be like, I remember this.
Yeah, I got off the plane and like I'm tired. I want to go to bed. And like 2 days later, I was like, I kind of want some Vegas food now.
Oh, they've got some of the best restaurants in the country.
It's just delicious.
There's did you go to any buffets?
No. I went to some Italian place that was kind of a buffet, but you didn't serve yourself, so
Yeah.
It was alright. There was a lot of cheap box wine that they tried to show you like was good wine, but it was obviously box wine, and we drank a lot of it, so it was fun.
So it worked. The fucking Paris
Yeah.
hotel and casino, their buffet is amazing.
Yeah, that's the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Raquel and I are gonna go there next time. Because there's
Well, no, so there's a restaurant in the tower,
the tower, yeah.
but there's also a buffet in the casino.
And that's like in the middle of the Eiffel Tower. And that's
Yeah, and it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, I want to go.
It's so good. like I went to both. Like we went to the buffet, and then later on in our trip we went to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Fuck that restaurant. Buffet's the shit.
Really, buffet?
Yeah, the buffet is so good. Like it was so good.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, there's a lot of situations where I've been like that, where people have been like, "You got to go here," and I go to that place, and I'm like, "Fuck this place," and then I go somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's not that it's bad. It's just to know that like you can pay so much for the restaurant, or you can just foot like $100 for 2 people at a buffet, and it's so much better.
It might not be like super expensive quality, but it's
so
what you
good.
get here.
Yeah, like
home,
it's so good. And then there was like the dessert section. I remember being like, so there's the whole buffet, but there's a separate buffet for just desserts, not like a little table.
It's like a whole
Like they have a little table with just like the macaroon cookies stacked, like stacked up,
Just
different
pyramid.
flavors, completely different flavors. No 2 flavors are the same, stacked. I remember just being like, holy shit. And you walk past that first. I'm like, what the fuck? And then there's a ton of other desserts. And I'm like, yo, where's the buffet? And my grandfather was just like, that's the dinner buffet. And he was like, you went the wrong way. And I was just like, yo, fucking what? This is amazing. But yeah, the buffets, they're fucking awesome. They're great restaurants in Vegas.
Yeah, the Vegas I experienced it felt like Uma Thurman after she got like the EpiPen in her heart. Like it was coming back to life and it was breathing again, and because like shit would close at like midnight.
Yeah.
Because it's not as busy as it usually is, and
Well, with COVID and stuff, yeah.
But it was still really, really fun. And I meant to say that place that I got the worst burger in my life. Loaded fries are shit. Like they can't do short rib. The only thing that was good there, they had these wings, and they were peanut butter and jelly wings.
Mm-hmm.
It fucking worked, and I don't know how. But so they had like
It's because sweet and salty.
Sweet and salty, and then the peanut butter sauce was sort of like a soy base. Like
Yeah.
Asian peanut butter sauce, and it blew my fucking mind after not eating for like 16 hours because I forgot to eat. But no, Vegas was fun. Vegas was a great time. But yeah, did you just work while I was away?
Yeah, I worked 50 hours in 4 days. And then I had 3 days off in a row before I did that.
Yeah.
And I just didn't do anything and got really sad.
Oh.
And then had therapy, which was like really, really a lot. And then Allie's been working, but like, so she goes in at night. So then I'm like, 3 days of just being alone. A lot of Juice WRLD. A lot of sad shit. And then go to work. I'm working like 12 hours. I get out of work. And I don't love communicating. Not in like if something's wrong, I don't want to talk about it. Like I'd rather communicate when something's wrong in an argument. But if I'm upset and you keep asking me why I'm upset, like eventually I'm going to be like, it's you. Stop asking me.
Yeah.
Like I don't like communicating when I'm upset. But what I do enjoy is when I'm upset, just letting somebody know and being like, I appreciate you. Thank you. Now don't ask me about this. Yeah. And so I would get off work and just want to have like a 5-minute conversation with Allie, and she's at work. So then I come home, chill, eat some food, go to bed, wake up at 4 in the fucking morning, go to work again, get out of work, be like, wow, I'm fucking exhausted. I wonder how, oh, she's at work. Okay, cool. Go to bed again, do it all again the next day. And then eventually I'm at work and I'm just like, this is ass. And so I like messaged her at one point. She goes, oh, are you not working? And I was like, no, I was just saying hi and I hope you have a good day. I cannot talk right now. And then she was like, are you mad? And I'm like, what did I say? I said I could not talk right now. And what are you doing? We're talking. I cannot talk. And then, I finally get out of work and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And Allie's like, yeah, I'm working tonight. And I was like, you motherfucker. So yeah, I literally worked. I watched movies. I watched Sicario, Army of the Dead, Varsity Blues, Tenet, and A Star Is Born.
Oh shit.
No. Sicario's dope. Army of the Dead was ass. Varsity Blues is a classic. Tenet's fun, and A Star Is Born made me sad. But I was already sad. It was a little. I was already sad, so I was like, fuck it.
Was anything about Army of the Dead good?
The opening credits are dope.
Yeah?
Yeah, I will say that's cool. What they do with the opening credit is cool. But then, so I learned, because I was like, why is the cinematography this way? That movie was filmed entirely during the pandemic. And so...
Is it like all CGI?
No, it's all out of focus. But in a clever way to work around, like, you're making a movie during a pandemic. They couldn't go to Vegas and shut down half of Vegas to make a monster zombie movie. So instead, they had these little sets and green screens, and then Zack Snyder was the DP and the director. So everything's in this weird close-up, and everything around it is blurry. Which on the one hand, I'm like, okay, in terms of problem solving, great idea.
Oh yeah, working with what you got.
For a 2.5-hour zombie movie where I just want to see cool kills, bad idea. All I wanted was an in-focus shot of a cool kill, and I didn't get one.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, and there are cool moments. Like I was talking about it with Allie, and she's like, sounds like it was good. And I was like, it was not good. And she's like, but you watched the whole thing and said it was fun. And I was like, fun does not mean good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I did Molly twice. It was fun. It was not a good time. I've done coke. It was fun. It was not a good time. I have crashed my car. Not fun. Not a good time. But like...
It was fun for 0.5 seconds?
But like...
Bad time.
And so I'm like trying to explain. I'm like, I don't know what was so off-putting about this. Because at the time, I didn't recognize it. And then Honest Trailers did a really funny trailer for it. And immediately they pointed it out. And I was like, that's what it fucking was. Nothing's in focus.
Yeah, it's really weird when you watch something and something is itching at like the back of your head. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this for some reason. I can't figure out what it is. And then one person points a small detail out and you're like, that's what it fucking is.
Yeah.
You're like, that's what it is.
And it's not even that it was bad. Like, everybody in it's okay. The writing sucked.
Well, yeah.
But it did its job. Like I don't know. It was cool.
Was it like just post-apocalyptic?
No, that's the thing. It's not even post-apocalyptic. There's a zombie outbreak in Vegas.
But just Vegas?
So what they do is, it's actually pretty cool. So there's a zombie outbreak in Vegas. And the military and the government, instead of trying to, like, stop the spread, they try to just... Or instead of trying to, like, find a cure and stop the spread, they just try to stop the spread. So they build a giant wall out of, like, container crates on, like, container ships.
Oh, yeah.
And surround Vegas.
Oh, shit.
And then they start firebombing Vegas to kill these zombies while they're doing that. And then once they build the wall, they stop trying to kill the zombies because they're just like, hey, they're in there. Just no one's allowed in there.
Yeah.
And so the whole plot is basically Vegas is closed off because it's overrun with zombies. And some billionaire's like, hey, I left like $200 million in a safe below my hotel. Go get it. Because they're going to nuke Vegas to kill off all the zombies finally. And so this group of people are like, all right, fuck it. And they go in to get the safe and get the money and get out. So like, it sounds like it could have been a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be good, but it was
the zombie tiger?
The zombie tiger was cool as fuck.
Was it actually?
It actually had a really good kill. Like the zombie tiger bites somebody's head till it explodes.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, it was actually dope. Like it showed up and it was like, oh, that's tight as fuck. There are good kills in it. Like there's one character who gets overrun with zombies to defend people, and he just pulls a grenade pin on his vest,
Oh, and he's just
and he's covered in grenades. So then it just kills like 100 zombies, and it's like, all right, that's dope. There's one character who gets stuck in a room with a bunch of zombies, and you're like, oh, she's gonna die. And then her partner realizes that she's locked in the room, and he realizes, oh, she's gonna die. And as they're all having this realization, she comes flying through a window, stabbing the shit out of zombies. And it's like, oh my god, she's a badass. Like,
well, she's fine.
so like there are those cool moments of like, wow, that's really badass, but it's also 2.5 hours, and there aren't enough of those moments.
Yeah.
Like,
Did they try to fill it with plot that just didn't?
yeah, the plot doesn't matter. There's a pregnant zombie queen. There's a king. Yeah, it's like it wasn't good. It's 2.5 hours. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I saw that they were trying to make him like sentient.
Yeah.
Like intelligent.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yes. No.
No.
But yeah, I did that. I worked. I watched some movies. Like Varsity Blues, I think is a classic, but it's not a good movie. Like I didn't watch any like I watched Sicario. That's a great movie, and I watched Tenet, which I think is a great movie.
Yeah.
But I also watched 2 pretty bad movies. Like I was just chilling. I ate fish curry that I made.
Oh.
I gave myself just the worst shits.
Horrible fiery shits.
No, liquid. Like I was pissing out of my ass.
You just undercooked the fish?
I don't know what I did, but I was like playing video games with our housemate Kate, and all of a sudden, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I got fart, and then nothing happened, and I'm like, what is happening? Like I'm sitting there and I'm starting to get worried. I'm like, what is happening in my ass? And then I was like, nope. And I ran to the bathroom, and I have a group chat with some buddies.
The IBS chat?
Yes. Where we talk about our shits while we're taking shits. The rule is once you're in the chat, you can only talk in the chat while you're pooping. And my name in the chat is Butthole Be Pissin'. And I sent a message and I went, well, fellas, I lived up to my name today. And they all liked the message, and then I'm like, I'm also scared to leave the bathroom. Like, it was rough. But that was it. I worked too much, and I ate some decent food and watched some shitty movies.
And almost shit while watching.
And almost shit my pants, yes.
I watched Shimmer Lake, I think it was yesterday, which is, I don't remember when it came out, but it has like Rainn Wilson, it has like a bunch of the Adult Swim guys.
2017.
2017, and it has the dude that played not Captain America, U.S. Agent.
Wyatt Russell, put respect on his name.
There it is. Yeah, Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell. And he actually gave a really good performance for the short, because he wasn't in it for very long. He was like a key character, but like through reference.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in it for very long, but he killed it when he was. And I didn't expect it to be good, because when I saw all the dudes from like Adult Swim that are in like the children's hospital shows in Adult Swim and whatnot, I was like, oh, it's going to be like a goofy, silly...
Sort of, yeah, not quite sure what it is type of movie.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, because it had some like funny bits at the beginning, and then the dark humor kind of mixed really well with like this serious murder bank robbery story. Where, like, all the dudes that were involved in the bank robbery start getting killed, but you start at the last day when all of them are dead, and then Rainn Wilson's character gets shot down like right away, and then it's like the day before, and then you learn what happens that day, and they do it in a really cool way that it unravels things perfectly, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
That's dope.
Doing a good job with the plot, and I forget what his name is, but the actor that plays the mayor, because the mayor's like all wrapped up in this whole thing, because he's like sleeping with a young boy, married and doing crack and shit. He has like a tussle with Rainn Wilson at one point, and Rainn Wilson's character, they both like tumble out of frame, and a gun goes off.
Yeah.
Wrestling with a gun, and the mayor gets up, and I was like, oh shit, and then he goes, honey, where are my slippers? And he turned, and he just got a hole in the back of his head, and he's like, I need to find, honey, my slippers. And he's just like walking around, I'm like, oh, this is a gruesome kill. I'm like, oh my god.
It's like leaking blood everywhere. You're like, oh shit, shit.
He just keeps asking for his slippers, and he goes up to like the boy he's sleeping with, and he's like, my slippers. And he just like falls dead to the ground, and they're like, holy shit. And the ending has a great twist, where the cop that's investigating it the whole time ends up being the father of the kid who... Okay. The bank robber's son died in like a meth explosion like 3 months before.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought it was his son with his wife. Turns out it was the cop and his wife and his wife's son. that died in the meth lab. He just didn't know it was the cop's son, because he was cheating on her.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the very end, like last scene, he's like, yeah, no, that was my kid, and he's dead because of you. This whole thing was my idea to kill all of you. And he just, and then it ends. I'm like, holy shit! And he gets away with it. Like the cop and the wife get away with it completely. And it's a pretty decent movie. I was pleasantly surprised for what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I was like, good job. You know what? Good job, guys. I'm actually kind of sad they haven't like made anything else after Shimmer Lake, because it's just all these silly dudes taking on a serious role, and I'm like, okay, all right, you do you. But yeah, pretty good movie. And then the other thing that you and I have seen together, we didn't watch together, but you and I have both seen, is Inside.
Yeah.
Bo Burnham's new special.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was good. I don't have a lot to say about it. I thought it was good. I think Bo Burnham is very talented, and I like that he made this. I think it's half good comedy, half a peek into somebody's mind that already quit stand-up.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things, like he quit stand-up after Make Happy.
Yeah, because he was starting to have panic.
Yeah, and he was like, I can't do it. And so I was excited that he made a new special. But, like, I don't know. I feel like he just needs professional help.
Oh, he absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure he's getting it, but it's like, it walked the line really well of being funny and then not funny.
And being super serious.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I'm going to rewatch it, I guess.
I'm going to read.
Because it had a lot going on. I liked that since he started on YouTube, like, him being by himself, creating, directing, and writing a comedy special that he filmed by himself for no audience. Like, great. He was probably like, all right, fuck it. I did this. I'll do it again. So it was cool to see, though, like, instead of being a 13-year-old starting on YouTube in, like, 06, now a late 20-something who has a career doing it. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But I don't have a lot to say about it because it was a lot.
Yeah. I think it was I think it's a great time capsule for what the pandemic was.
And did, yeah.
Yeah, because it starts with him being like, yeah, I think it's going to take like a few months for me to work on the special. And we see him just like devolve, like his mental state just decline throughout this entire
and like he looks raggedy and all that, like.
Yeah, I told Raquel, I'm like, he kind of looks like just a Jesus figure, because he has like the scraggly beard and the long hair, and at one point he puts himself up on a cross.
And he's white, so yes.
And he's white, yes.
Yes, so he is a Jesus figure. Because everybody knows Jesus from the Middle East was white.
He was white.
The Catholic Church confirmed it, so it must be true.
Absolutely. But, so...
Stop fucking with Korean cheese.
I think that it was... He loves to nail on, like, just criticizing, like, internet trends and shit.
Yeah.
I think all, like, the Twitch stream stuff I think was funny, and I think the reacting to your own videos...
That was Netflix, I promise. I went to Netflix to check how long it was, and it was playing a preview of something called Kim's Convenience, and I don't know what it is, because there are so many people on my Netflix that watch these random shitty shows that my algorithm's all fucked up. Allie started watching a show called 2-Sentence Horror Stories. I don't fucking get it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to mute my laptop.
I think it's like an hour and a half.
I think it is too.
But I just love that, because at first I was like, okay, because he does a lot of comedy bits at first.
Yeah, it's
then,
like the first 35 minutes are just funny.
Yeah, and then he starts to cut it, and like, it's been like 6 months. I didn't think I'd be working on this long. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be working on it.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, and he explains that, because we all knew that he was having panic attacks, and that's why he stopped doing stand-up. What
Yeah.
we didn't know was that he explains is that right before the pandemic, he was like,
yeah, in January he was like, I'm gonna start doing some shows, and then he's like, the funniest thing happened.
Pandemic. And so we're just watching him have a terrible time, and I felt it kind of resonated, because I've gone through that shit. I'm much better now working on my mental health, but I like kind of reflected with him in the sense that he at the end would be sitting in the room trying to create, and he'd start a sentence and stop and like put his head in his hands, and then he'd like go back to being fine and start a sentence, and then eventually he just like snapped and was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done making this.
Which is why I think it's hard to, like, I was talking about it with my friend who watched it, and he's like, I don't want to recommend it to people because it does become uncomfortable.
Yeah, it becomes
like the ending of it is not funny.
Oh no, not at all. It's just like the ending of it is really just a metaphor for even when he does get to go back outside, he doesn't want to stay back outside anyway. He's gonna want to go back inside, and I think it was just an interesting, sad, but very real and raw look into who Bo is as a person.
Yeah, it was a glimpse. I mean, it's called Inside for a reason. It's a glimpse inside this person.
And I just really appreciate that he was willing to put himself out there like that, and he really did. It was extremely raw. So I loved it for exactly what it was. I didn't expect it to be as serious and sad as it was, but I still...
Which I think Netflix didn't do enough advertising for it. Because, yeah, like, if you go into it... Like, let's say you go on Netflix and you watch What? It's like, all right, that was weird, but there were funny bits.
Yeah.
You watch Make Happy. It's like, that's his most approachable one. Great.
Yes.
That was really funny. I liked it. You go into Inside, you got a half hour funny and then an hour of just deterioratingly uncomfortable bits. And it's like, oh, okay. Like it's.
I did like the bit where he's talking about the internet giving you a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah.
I love that song.
Like he's very smart and very funny, but it's just like it was a lot.
He's also nude for like half of this special, which I thought was so fucking funny. He's just like, "Yep, this is what I'm doing." Also, white woman's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Bop. But yeah, Inside, I suggest it if you like. If you've liked Bo's comedy before, not just for like the funny bits, but for like Bo as a person.
The introspectiveness of like if you listen to Can't Handle This from the ending of Make Happy and you're like, wow, what a great critique on having anxiety in America, then you'll love the whole fucking special. Like it'll blow your fucking mind.
So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was. I was about to say a great time. It's not a great time, but it's a really interesting special.
Kevin Spacey's back, baby.
What?
Kevin Spacey's coming back, baby.
Doing what?
Kevin Spacey making a movie.
What's he
Kevin Spacey making a movie in Italy.
In Italy.
Kevin Spacey making a movie in Italy playing a detective who hunts pedophiles, baby.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious. His agent looked at him and went, yeah, so you raped a dude in the 80s and he might have been underage, so you're technically a pedophile, but people are more focused on the rape than the pedophilia, and you are a monster, but we're making the movie in Italy. No one's going to remember your American shit. Let's get in
The
there.
Vatican's got you.
We got this. Like,
holy shit. What a whoa.
it's his first, like...
That's such a blatant cover.
It's his first starring role since 2017 when...
Baby Driver, right?
No, like starring, not like co-starring.
Starring.
Like he's the main character. It's his first starring role since the whole thing happened.
Who's directing it?
I don't fucking know. Some Italian guy
Oh, shit.
who just wants a paycheck. But
Oh, Jesus Christ.
so, and I was talking to my uncle about it because he's the one who sent this headline to me, and I was like, holy shit, that's hilarious. And my uncle was like, what do you think? And I was like, well, he'll be good, but it's not gonna be good, and I'm not gonna watch it. And my uncle was like, what do you mean he'll be good? And I literally sent him a list of accolades from Kevin Spacey, and I was like, he's not disgraced because he suddenly started sucking.
Yeah, no,
The dude's an amazing actor. I'm like, he has so many awards. He's won 2 Oscars. He's got like 3 BAFTAs, 4 BAFTAs. I'm looking at it now. Like, he kills it. He's a great actor. But
Which is probably one of the reasons why he got this far, pretending like he's a good guy.
oh yeah,
But
he's a monster.
Yeah.
So Anthony Rapp was an actor who accused Spacey of making a sexual advance towards him in 1986 when Rapp was 14.
So that's a little young.
Yup.
A little young for my taste.
Other men then alleged that Spacey had made unwanted advances and had sexually harassed them as well. And this was at the start of the Me Too movement.
Oh yeah,
Now-
got the brunt of the.
Now, I remember when this happened because I don't think so. Here's where I'm gonna say I'm gonna try to word this the right way so I don't get fucking screamed at. Actors have made comebacks already from worse allegations than this.
Yes.
Here's why Kevin Spacey hasn't come back.
It's because of how he reacts.
He handled it so poorly.
Remember, he was like, "I'm gay."
I remember that because I remember the headline came out and it was Kevin Spacey comes out as gay. I was like, oh my God, Kevin Spacey's gay? And then you read into it, it's like, and he might have raped a 14-year-old boy. And then it came out that there wasn't any sexual interaction. It was just he vehemently hit on a 14-year-old boy. And it's like, well, that's still monstrous. And then the allegations came out about sexual harassment. It's like, oh, you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
But then his defense was like, he just sued everyone. And it's like, dude, that's not a good look. And then all the cases got thrown out because people started dying. And it's like, what is happening here? And then he just disappeared. Oh, do you not know that?
People started dying?
4 of the main people in like 2 of the cases died. Mysteriously. He's a creepy dude.
That's more than creepy. That's some fucking omnipotent.
Hey, I'm not out here disgracing him because I don't want to get murdered. But if you want to say something, you can say something. And then I remember Netflix cut ties with Spacey. And so did Ridley Scott because he was filming a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopher Plummer replaced him. And now he's just sort of been laying low. He released like one really fucking weird House of Cards video on YouTube once. It was really weird. Yeah, they're Christmas Eve YouTube videos. He did it in 2018, 2019, and in 2020. And they're just fucking weird. Like you should watch them, but they're fucking weird.
I mean, he's a weird dude.
Yeah,
He
and
handles shit weird.
But the issue became the statute of limitations on a lot of these allegations
Had run out.
gone.
Yeah.
Like 84.
Yeah.
The first case with Anthony Rapp, which if it's true, monstrous. Because it's like you're in your 20s, you just hit on a 14-year-old and you might have had sex with him. You're a monster.
Well, rape, I think it's, I don't know what it is. I know like for like harassment or something, I think it's only like 2 years or something.
But yeah. Like it's not, this came out in 27, it's not 30 fucking years.
Yeah. It's,
you know what I mean?
So.
Like, it's not like you're a murderer and we finally caught you 30 years later and we're like, hey, you did it. Like, what are they going to do? But it completely disgraced him and now he's gone. And I just love that his agent or whoever the fuck found him this role had to have been like, no, dude, it's perfect.
It's absolutely.
It's going to be great.
What a great comeback.
Like, he's using it as a comeback movie.
Of course he is.
Like, the headline.
It's very tongue-in-cheek, like, haha, I'm a pedophile hunter, and everybody's going to be like, ho, 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 but sir, you're the pedophile.
It's just, wow.
It's so tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, like, oh my God. And it's going to be crazy because, like, with the world today and cancel culture, like, what if this is his best movie? No one's going to see it. Because then if you're the guy that sees it, and you're like,
this was a great movie, and people are like,
and he was great in it, and then people are like, well, he did this, and it's like, okay, but in the eyes of the court,
that's you never want to follow that up with anything.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, cancel culture, I think, is just a little too vicious.
I think because I feel like Kevin Spacey got held accountable, and people will never forget what he did.
But yeah, held accountable, but then it's like,
yeah, I think at a certain point, they can't stop existing.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but then it's like they're allegations. Yeah. So it's like, did it happen? We don't know. We're acting like it happened.
Yeah.
But we don't know. One guy's saying it happened. One guy's saying it didn't. Well, that's how most things go. So did it happen? Well, Netflix cut ties with him. Netflix cut ties with him because he was like one of the faces of their franchises. Mm-hmm. So they cut ties with him because if it was true, yeah, I'd cut ties with him too. Mm-hmm. But then it's like with cancel culture today, it's like that could have not happened. His career will never come back.
Oh yeah, no.
It's crazy.
Never.
And my sister's so adamantly part of the cancel culture that I sort of want to see the movie just to piss her off.
I would see a lot of people that got canceled. I'd see the movie just to be like, I want to see what they're making.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
Give them money, but I do want to be like, I want to see what they're making.
Yeah, like what is this? I
don't
think it's
have to be
crazy.
like, I love this person to see their movie or listen to their music.
Yeah,
Just listen to their shit.
I just think it's crazy.
I don't believe that he's coming back. That's insane.
I think it's crazy. But Kevin Spacey's coming back. And then the other thing that happened was Sony sort of pissed people off because a lot of people assumed that God of War 2 would be coming out this year.
Oh yeah, the
With
remake?
no God of War
remake?
Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah.
The second one in the new rebuilding of the franchise, whatever the fuck it is. They never explained it.
The Norse.
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because they announced it last year and people just assumed launch title for the PS5. And it wasn't. So then they're like it's coming out, and Sony was like, we never said when. And people were like, well, no, but like you put a logo up, so it's coming out. And Sony basically was like, yeah, Bethesda did the same thing with Elder Scrolls 6, and y'all been jerking off to it ever since. That's not coming out for like 4 more fucking years.
Yeah, but they were also upfront with the date. They were like,
well, so then
2024.
Sony was like, it's coming out late 2022. And people were like, what? And Sony was just like, suck a dick. What are you going to do about it? Like, you're not going to buy it? Fuck you.
The idea that Sony is just run by a Brooklyn dude.
Like suck a dick. I don't care.
Dude.
What are you going to do about it? The Knicks made the playoffs. I'm fucking watching the game.
It's over there sucking off Miyamoto. You got to
fuck you. But yeah, so that happened. And then 2 new albums that came out that I don't really want to talk about, but I think they're good and people should listen to them. Olivia Rodrigo, the fucking driver's license.
She's actually making a good career for herself.
Well, yeah, she had, yeah, she's good. She's set. She's good. Yeah. Fucking driver's license. She could have only released that for her whole career. She's set.
Yeah, but she didn't want to pull Chumbawamba.
No, she good. But no, her album Sour came out. Is it the best album of all time? No. Is it the best emotional breakup album of all time? No. Is it a solid teen pop breakup album? Yeah.
No.
It's pretty solid.
Cool.
Brutal hurts. Driver's license is pain. Enough for you and happier. Hurt. Favorite crime. Ow. It's good. And then the other album that came out that I think people should listen to is by a guy named Mustafa. He is a folk singer from Canada who made a song called When Smoke Rises, but it deals a lot with like victims of gun violence and young people dying, and it's like a heartbreakingly beautiful album. It's fucking awesome, and it's only 24 minutes, so like super good.
Oh, so that's like an EP then.
Yeah, it's so good. And then Last Night in Soho got a trailer.
Yeah, I saw that. We talked about this on another podcast. Edgar Wright used to be my favorite director. Not anymore, just because I feel like I've grown into liking different stuff.
Yeah.
But he's still a great director, and I'm very curious to see what he does, because I'm not a huge fan of Anna Taylor-Joy?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
She's, all the stuff I've seen her in, she's been kind of like, okay. Split, she was pretty good in Split, but she's never like blown me away.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah, I've watched the trailer today, and I'm curious to see what he does with it, because it's a lot of dancing and music and stuff, and Edgar Wright and music hand in hand.
Well, it's a teaser too, so it's not even like.
It doesn't give you any.
Yeah, there's nothing like. It seems weird.
Yeah. And
it's supposed to be a horror movie and all that, so it's like cool. I'm in.
It's weird thinking about Edgar Wright doing a horror movie, because he's so silly most of the time.
Yeah.
He's got like a goofy way.
But like, I don't know. I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be good. But yeah, it's got Anya Taylor-Joy, Thomasin McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit, Matt Smith from Doctor Who, and fucking like it looks like it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be good. But yeah, I don't know. From the trailer, you don't know anything about it. I had to look it up to figure out what it was about.
It's just like this girl getting haunted by like the past of somebody else or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out when it comes out.
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder wrapped. Pumped about that. That's just something.
Yeah, and people think that the third Spider-Man movie's trailer is going to come out soon.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the trailer for the movie Werewolves Within.
No.
No? It looks silly and fun and campy, but in a perfect way. It's just about this town being snowed in, and somebody's a werewolf. Nobody knows who it is, and everybody's handling it in like a goofy way, and it just seems fun. It just seems like a fun movie. Go watch the trailer. It seems like a good time. I'm actually really excited about it. The last thing I have is I finished after many years. Took many years. Shouldn't have taken this long. I finished Breath of the Wild. Hooray! Ganon's dead. Anyway, that was a good game. I like that game. It's
great, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. It sucks me in too much. I get too lost in the game. And I'm like, oh shit, 6 hours is gone by. But yeah, that's all I have. And I gotta go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. Fucking tired.
It's 3 p.m.
Dude, I don't think you understand how much I worked.
Tired.
I genuinely, I got home one night.
Hike today.
Yes, I got home one night at 10, went to bed, and was awake at 4 to go to work. Like I was at work, and I told a coworker, I'm like, if I were to fall asleep right now and wake up for work, I would only be getting 7 hours of sleep. And then I went, and I still got to go home. I got to get changed. I got to get in bed. I got to fall asleep. I was like, we're looking at 5 hours maybe.
If I'm lucky.
Like, it's a lot.
We will all pray for Jake on his journey through work.
We out here
We are.
making the money.
And we will see you guys next week.
Yep. Adios, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.